the Cannes Film Festival. Today I'm talking to a mentalist. Well, the mentalist actually. The actor from the hit TV series Simon Baker is in the French Riviera to talk about his plan to direct a film. Despite appearing in movies like ENCORE and The Devil Wears Prada, it's his first turn in the director's chair. Let's go and meet the Australian star.
Allons-y.
You speak French?
No, that's it. That was the extent of it right there.
Now, Simon Baker, you're known for being a very handsome chappy, clean cut, neat hair. What's going on? What's with the new look?
What's going on? Well, I'm only known in certain circles as the clean cut guy. I've been in a period of, finishing one job and transitioning into the next thing, and I'm just relaxing a little bit. I also, the next job that I take on, I'm directing and acting in, and it's set in the mid-70s, so I have to start trying to grow my hair out a little. And
so this is your 70s look?
It's on the way.
And you...
This is my Cannes interview with Eve look in particular, which I'm not really sure about because I'm sort of trying to control a bit of an uncontrollable mane.
Now, Simon, I used to watch you in Home and Away. Am I allowed to bring that up?
Yeah, you can do that. It's 20-something years ago.
The Australian soap opera when I was sort of a teenager. You've come a long way from there. Like now you're recognised everywhere you go, pretty much. You're here at Cannes to talk about your first film as a director. I mean, does that world seem so very far away now?
Yes and no. I've been spending a bit of time in Sydney over the last couple of months getting this film organised, and being back there for a period of time reminds me of that world and that sort of era of my life. Also, I'm sort of met with different Australian actors that have come up, the Hemsworth brothers. There's a lot of Australian actors that did their time in Australian soap operas. So, it's sort of an institution there. It's a rite of passage of sorts.
You're best known for The Mentalist, of course, that finished earlier this year. How are you feeling about that? Are you a bit at a loss, or do you feel free?
No, I don't feel at a loss. The transition of spending a lot more time with my family and having a bit more free time has been interesting. I do miss a lot of the people on the show, but I pretty much went straight to Australia to start organising. I was organising Breath from the very beginning. I've had the option to the book for 5 years, so I've been working towards transitioning into that.
So tell us about the story of Breath.
It's a story about two teenage boys in the mid-70s in Australia that are sort of hungry for adventure, and they form an unlikely friendship with this older reclusive surfer character and his mysterious wife, and they're sort of driven to make decisions that have a pretty profound effect on their lives.
It's based on a book by Tim Winton. They're quite reckless boys, Aussie boys. I mean, can you identify with that? Is that what you were like? Yeah,
there's a reason why I really took a shine to this book. I know this story sort of internally and externally, and I think I felt a very close connection to the material, and that's what got me really excited.
For your first film as a director, did you really feel it had to be something Australian and go back to Australia and film in Australia?
I didn't feel that it had to be, but there was definitely a burning desire to explore the makeup of who I am as a person. I also am a big believer in Australian film as a cultural imperative. We're a bunch of storytellers, and everywhere you go, it's just about telling stories. If you go to the pub, it's just, you sit down and people just tell each other stories all day long. It's just a big part of our culture. So Screen Australia, the Australian funding body, is a fantastic organisation that is super supportive of curating the Australian story in a lot of ways, and it's one of those like personal odysseys. I feel really happy and fortunate to be in a position to be able to go and do it.
Australian filmmakers seem to be more and more prominent as well here at the Cannes Film Festival. This year there's an Australian directing competition, Justin Kurzel. He's here with Macbeth, his take on Macbeth with Marion Cotillard and Michael Fassbender. Do you know his work? Are you a fan of him?
Yeah. I mean, he's a classic example. I think that Cannes has a good relationship with Australian filmmakers because I think a lot of the storytelling style is probably more in line with a European sensibility. He's a great filmmaker. This is only his second film, but you could tell from his first film that he was bold and confident and had a very sure hand. And I think I'm pretty interested to see Macbeth, particularly because it's such classic material, to see what he does with it, because he's got a pretty fresh and unique approach to storytelling.
Fear not, Macbeth! No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee!
When can we expect to see Breath then? When do you think it's going to be out? When do you start shooting?
I've got to shoot the thing. It's going to be a hard film to make. It's a really hard film to make. We plan on shooting later this year.
And so could we expect to see it maybe early next year?
Maybe.
You're not committing to anything?
No, I'm absolutely not.
Okay, Simon Baker, looking forward to seeing it.
Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
Cheers.